What's up everyone, Max Tech Toy Box here doing a video unboxing and review of these two different WYZE Cams. So this is the WYZE Cam Pan 1080p, pan/tilt zoom Wi-Fi indoor smart home camera. And then this is your sort of set and drop WYZE Cam 1080p indoor wireless smart home camera. This retails for about 25 bucks and this for 36 bucks. As I've already stated, they both shoot in 1080p. WYZE Cam sort of came on the scene, I think 1 to 2 years ago. Sort of set a precedent for your budget-friendly indoor security camera system. So I'm just now getting my hands on them. These do accept micro SD cards. They don't come with them included. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set these up. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through this setup process as I do it. Might as well. So one thing I will say, these are, even though this camera is relatively inexpensive and budget friendly, this cord is pretty top notch. USB cord. So take this wall wart here, plug it up right into my outlet. Okay, guess we'll do the smaller one first. And I have two 16 gigabyte SD cards. So go ahead and just plug this one up. Let's see. So here you see the plug-in. I guess it can connect via micro USB and then regular large USB. I don't know why it's two different ones. And here on the bottom you see the micro SD slot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and insert that there. Make sure I insert it the right way because I don't want to break anything. Okay. Cool. Then now I just plug this into there. Okay. And paste it there. And then I'm gonna set it up on my phone. So I'm just gonna walk through the setup process on my phone. Go to add a new device. WYZE Cam is the first one that I'm gonna do. And it says that I have to press connect your phone. Okay. And then it says press the setup button. So I'm gonna press this.
Ready to connect.
Okay. Hit next. I have to enter my Wi-Fi name. Be better if
ready to connect.
I could just search for it. Scan QR code with your WYZE Cam. Show me how.
Ready to connect.
Show me how. So you just take it and you press it. Alright, you just put it right in front.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
Cool. Let's see. Hopefully I put in the right information for the Wi-Fi. I wish that I could just scan it instead of actively having to input that information.
Setup completed.
Awesome. Says setup completed. Enter your device name. We'll just call this WYZE 1. It's a clever name, if I do say so myself. Finish setup. Okay, so now let's see what it looks like from the camera's perspective. New firmware version is available. Upgrade. So again, gonna go ahead and set up the other camera. Add product. WYZE Cam Pan. Ooh, so they want to make sure that you remove this film that's on the front here. So I'll go ahead and get this off. Okay, that's done. Hit the setup button. So the same sort of way we did before.
Ready to connect.
Okay. Next.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
QR code scan, please wait. So let's see.
Setup completed.
Awesome, so that took like less than 10 seconds. I will say that when I was setting up the first original camera, it did say upgrade failed. I'm gonna name this one WYZE 2. Not as catchy as WYZE 1, but hey. So let's see. It says sure, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and upgrade this one as well. So during the setup process for the original, for WYZE 1, it didn't tell me to take off this film, and so I was wondering why it looked a little hazy on my screen on my phone. It's because this was there, but for this one it did, so just throwing that out there. Alrighty guys, so I'm back and I'm ready to give you guys my review and final thoughts on this WYZE camera system. So this is the standard WYZE as you guys saw in the initial setup process, and this is the WYZE Pan. I will say that upon the initial setup process, there was a problem with processing the update. It appeared for this one where it said it was not pushed, but it was pushed. And then for this one, when the update was pushed, motion tracking and motion tagging were lost. So on the application, it still showed that the camera had the ability to do this. However, when you actually tried, when you selected motion tagging and motion tracking, it did not. It would not follow any sort of motion. So I thought maybe this was a bug with the camera that I had. I reached out to WYZE support. They had not reached out. It's about give or take 24 to 48 hours. So in the meantime, I just figured I'll just order a replacement on Amazon. So I did that. And when I got this one in, I had done some more research online, and I saw that there was a problem with the software update that was pushed out. So when I got the second camera in, I did not push the update and it worked fine. So I reverted the firmware version on both of these cameras back to the previous software that basically came out of the box, and everything has been working just fine. WYZE since then has not pushed out any sort of update to fix this problem. I would imagine that that's going to come in the coming weeks, but essentially reverting back to the previous firmware upgrade before this one will fix that issue. Or if you just get the WYZE camera, depending on which firmware version you're on, then you could just not even do the update at all. So with all that being said, I know that was pretty much a mouthful. I wasted about 3 minutes saying all that information. And that is a pretty big issue. Do not get this wrong. Don't get it twisted. That's an issue that WYZE definitely needs to fix. I still will go ahead and give these cameras my stamp of approval in terms of someone that's looking for a security camera setup, wireless cameras, Wi-Fi cameras that they want to have in their house and around their house. These are definitely a major win. So the price point that these sit at, so that's another thing. This one was around 30 bucks. This one was around 25 through Amazon. You can't beat those prices, and the fact that WYZE is continuously pushing updates can't be understated. So before I had these cameras, I was using the Yi home cameras, and they work fine. There's no issue with them, but they don't have the same sort of features that these have. So this is 1080p out of the box, right? You get, I believe, 7 days of cloud storage that you don't pay for. That comes free. It's always rolling. You also can put SD cards in here. You can do that with the E cameras as well. But the E cameras that I have are 720p. And they cost the same price as this. This also is the so the E cameras I got, I think, were around 30, and this is 30, and this is the Pan, which means that it does have the features such as motion tracking and motion tagging. So you can see what happens with motion tracking is whenever the camera senses any sort of motion, a little box will appear. That's what motion tagging is for, and then it will follow that motion around. So if you had someone that was breaking into your house or whatever the case may be, the camera is going to follow them around, right? Of course, and that motion is, of course, so the motion is going to set off the sensor on the camera. It's going to follow that motion around, and it's going to be recorded. It can be recorded directly to the SD card and also sent to the cloud. On top of that, of course, because it's supposed to be some sort of security home system, it will push an alert to your phone if you have that set up as well. So that's a lot of stuff to bring out of the box at only 20 bucks, $25 and $30. Of course, you also have two-way audio. so you can hear things, and then you can also speak back to the person if you had this set up outside your house, if somebody was coming to drop off a package. Essentially, it's sort of like a doorbell, or the Ring, or whatever system you may be familiar with, except it's a camera. And they have plenty of enclosure ecosystem of accessories that have been made specifically for these devices that are not necessarily made by WYZE. They're third-party accessory companies, but still they work fine and have great reviews on Amazon.com. So I think that in terms of me having spent time with different types of security camera applications, WYZE's application is pretty top-notch. I've used the Amcrest system. I've also used the WYZE camera system. Amcrest's system is pretty trash, especially if you're comparing. It's dated, I would say that. I won't say it's trash, but it was good maybe from a couple of years ago, but in the recent times, it's just not as good. WYZE is better, but still, I do think that WYZE is a bit more feature heavy and feature rich, just like their cameras. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to add to say? Overall, I think that it would be tough for anyone to knock these cameras for what they do offer at the price point that they are at. And that's another thing too. A lot of the times, especially when you're talking about flagship phones and you say, oh, well, or back, the Nexus days when Google released the Nexus, you're like, oh, this is a great phone for its price. I would just say that this is a great camera system, period. It has nothing to do with price. The fact that it's budget friendly is just a positive. But I mean, 1080p, cloud storage, it comes with onboard storage that you can have, 24-hour monitoring, night vision detection. You have motion detection, of course, that you can trigger. You have alerts that are being pushed to your phone. You have motion tracking, motion tagging, two-way audio. I mean, this is just extremely feature rich. And WYZE also just announced, I think it's called WYZE Sense. They have like sensors similar to like these sensors where when doors open, you'll receive an alert as well that's supposedly linked directly to the cameras. And then they also have motion detection sensors as well that do not have cameras attached. Maybe if you want to put them in the bathroom or something like that, but you don't want to have a full-fledged camera system, of course, for privacy reasons. So definitely going to be taking a look at those. Overall, definitely would recommend this camera system to anyone, even with the little tech glitches that I had in the beginning. If you're someone that's going to be setting up your own home security system, I would imagine that you're a little bit tech savvy, and flashing this firmware backwards was not that difficult to do at all. And like I said, even with having to go through all that, I would still recommend this camera system. So this is Max Tech Toy Box. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys have these cameras? Is there anything else that you guys want to know about these cameras before you decide to make the purchase? Please let me know. I will definitely be keeping these and setting these up keeping these in my apartment. So this is Max Tech Toy Box signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you later.